Hey guys, that Welsh Nerd here, and today we're going to be looking at the first part of our Adeptus Titanicus series that's running this week. So, today we are looking at the rules set. I did not buy the Grandmaster Edition, primarily for financial reasons, but this is basically what's in the set anyway from talking to someone who did get the Grandmaster Edition. So, this one is going to be slightly different from a normal unboxing video I've done because I've already opened it up and got everything out. Just because from seeing what was already in there, it's a lot of loose cards, loose packaging, so I thought I'd open it up and just instead show you exactly what you're getting in here. I haven't rifled through stuff, I haven't even read the rules at this point of reading, at this point of filming even. So yeah, this is all brand spanking new to me. Other than what I've seen on stuff like Guerrilla Miniatures, games, etc. So, the other thing with the Adeptus Titanicus videos to remember that with this week is just the fact that they're going to be spread out over different places. I actually filmed the Warlord video about a week ago in my old location. So, there's that. Reavers and warhounds, when they eventually come out and get released, they will be filmed here most likely, but might be on the desk from before. I just needed a bigger space for this. Cool, so we got a nice glossy box showing Legio Gryphonicus and the Legio Mortis on the front, with the Adeptus Titanicus, the Horus Heresy rule set. It does, funnily enough, say the Warhammer 40k universe, when technically it's Warhammer 30k. Perhaps this is a sign of things to come, eh? I wish. However, looking at this, I can't help but feel, because I know the Gryphonicus rules aren't in the rulebook. Sorry, the Mortis rules even, Gryphonicus are. That this was originally going to be Legio Gryphonicus and Legio Mortis, because that's what all the promotional materials are, and then they've released whatever other Traitor Legion is in there. Cool, so not going to do a flip round of the box because everything's loose in here. I'll show you at the end. But it's a nice glossy box. And when we open it, we're immediately greeted by a relatively packed filled box. So we've got a range ruler for one, which you're getting them in all the GW boxes lately. From my understanding, this one is quite useful, just because Titanicus has got a lot of small range bands and stuff. So it's going to be more useful than your regular ones, I'd say. And it's obviously styled in the style of the Adeptus Titanicus. We've got a nice bit of artwork here. Again, the same I got on my wall, and then we've got just the light products that have come out with the release: the Wall of Baton Titan, the Imperial Knight, Civitas Imperialis, and Civitas Imperialis Sector. Apologies for me butchering any high Gothic here. Immediately after that then, we have got some reference sheets just breaking down what everything does, etc. And some special rules, I think. Yeah. Common weapon traits, that's it. We've got the damage charts, etc. And then, underneath that, we have got the nice hardback rulebook. It's a nice hardbook. It's not that thick. We've got our little breakdown when it decides to focus. Here on the back, just talking about strategic tabletop war game, and then 3 ways of playing open match narrative, as there is with everything GW lately. We have got the return of the templates that were recently dropped from 40k. These look, well, not recently, it's been 2 years now, but you know what I mean. Or a year even. How long has 8th edition been out? A year? 2 years? I actually can't remember. It's been that accepted into people's lives now. So we've got these templates, and these look like the regular 40k ones. We've got a small blast, a large blast, and a teardrop template, which, if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd say that this is going to be for the Warhounds flame weapons. This is going to be for small blast weapons, obviously, because it's a small blast template, but that'll be stuff like the plasma blast gun, etc. Whereas this one is for the big guns, and I know the Bellicosa uses this. So, underneath that, we've got one of the more unique areas of this game. We have got a sprue of plastic. Now, what are these? To start, we have got the big ones are the templates. Now, these are put on the bases of models, and you use them to measure arcs, firing arcs, and movement and turning, etc. Then we've got little I don't know what to call them. They're little they go in the sockets on the command terminals. So you can mark stuff, and they're in different styles, like you can see them there and there, like, etc. You've got more than enough than you will ever need here, to be completely honest with you. Then, what can we look at next? You've got an objective marker, which is a destroyed warlord head, which is quite cool. An initiative marker for whoever the active player is. And then we have got little bunkers. Now these are the strategic resources you can see here. We've got stuff like the macro guns, etc. All that jazz. It's quite cool. These, I think, are to differentiate Titans if you've got identical loadouts, like I'm likely going to have, etc. But yeah, nice little template here. Next in the box is the big thing. We have got command terminals. Now these slot in nicely here. This is something I did. They don't come not looking at you. So we've got two for the Warhound Titan. We then have two for the Reaver Titan. And then two for the Warlord Titan. We're going to start from smallest to largest and make our way up if it decides not to go. So the Warhound Titan, you put the order dice there, there we go, that is indented here for the, like, differentiating the numbers. So we got a command value of 5+, a ballistic skill of 3+, a speed of 8 inches or 12 inches, I'm assuming that's if you push the reactor to move. We've got weapon skill 4+ for close combat. Maneuvers is 3/5. If I'm remembering correct, that's the amount of times they can turn. So that'll be irregular, and then when you push the reactor. And we've got servitor clades, and that's how many dice you roll for repairs. Special rules go here. So squadrons, Warhound Titans can be formed a squadron of 2 to 3 Titans, which is quite cool. Basically, in squads, if the other review I've seen it was right, is they let them link together their void shields and coordinate orders, etc. And activate as one unit rather than having to activate one Titan at a time back and forth. Then we got the reactor and void shields here. So they start with a 3+ save, 4+, 4+, none. Basically. This is where those little plastic bits go in. So then we've got the damage chart. We've got the head. Moves across, that's how much you need on a roll of a dice, plus the strength of the weapon to cause damage. So Bellicosas, for example, are damage 12. So they are automatically more or less doing direct hits. Ones always fail. Then we've got critical stuff here. So as you move to the red, you put the critical slot in. Once you've got 3 of them, any more damage destroys the Titan. Then we got the weapon slots, and they go on here. Then we got the Midland Titan, the Reaver. Now this doesn't have any special rules, this is your everyman Titan. It's 250 points plus weapons, so it's the middle of the ground Titan, and it's probably going to cost you around 300 points once you've put together the stuff. So you can fit a couple of these into your lists easily. It has a command value of 4+, because it is better at taking orders. It has ballistic skill of 3+, again that is a common trait across all of them. It has a speed of 6/9, so it's slower than a Warhound, but not as slow as a Warlord. It's weapon skill 4+, it's decent in close combat as you'd accept with someone that can take massive fists. It's got a maneuver of 2/3, so it can turn twice or 3 when it pushes the reactor, and it rolls 3 dice for servitors. It's also got slightly better shields. It can take the 3+s. It takes 2 more failed saving rolls to lose the 3+s rather than it just being 1. It's also a tiny bit tougher looking at it. All the numbers seem to be bumped up by 1, more or less. So it's just a little bit tougher than the Warhound. And it also has a carapace slot because Reavers can take carapace weapons. And then finally, the big boy of the group, the Warhound Titan. Now, the Warhound Titan has got the Ardex Defensor Cannon. When the Titan is activated in the combat phase, each enemy unit within its front or rear arc and within 6 inches suffers D3 strength 5 hits. That's basically the las cannons and the mauler bolters and stuff firing at anything that gets too close. It's not an amazing rule, but it might save you from knights because they are very difficult for warlords to deal with, once they get up close anyway. Now another thing you're going to see here immediately is this is a full buy. It takes a lot to drop the Void Shields on a Warlord Titan. It also takes a lot more to push its Reactor. It's a lot more tougher. It's basically the direct hit on the head to do damage is a devastating hit on a Reaver, so it takes a lot more to actually damage a Warlord Titan. And it's also got a longer chart. This also has a left arm, carapace and right arm, because Warlord Titans can take carapace weapons. And then finally, of the command terminal variety, we have got the Knight command terminals. Now there are 2 of these at the moment, though I think there is more Knights coming in the future, nothing confirmed yet though. These are basically the entire rules that you need, everything on you. Commander 6+, orders, etc. They got ballistic skill 4+, weapon skill 3+, speed of 10. They've got ion shields that scale depending on the number of knights and the strength of the attack that's hitting them. The damage you need to do damage to them. A Lord Scion special rule, while the Lord Scion is part of the banner, add 2 the results of any command checks, which is quite nice. They've also got Agile, so the Quesnoris Knights are not affected by difficult or dangerous terrain. Basically they're small, so whereas a crumbled building even, that would block and impede the path of Reaver Titans and Warlords, these guys can just pick through the ruins. And then we've got all their weapons. So we've got Avenger Gatling Cannons, Thermal Cannons, Rapid Fire Battle Cannons, Storm Spear Rocket Pods, and Questoris melee weapons. And they can also take an upgrade of Melt Guns. On the back, we have got how you basically build them. It consists of these many models, how many points they cost, and some upgrades. There. Cool. Right, so the next thing is a deck of cards. These are your stratagems and mission objectives. So at the start of the game, you draw objective cards where you have an overview of special scoring victory points and secondary objectives, because you've got secondary objectives in this game. And you've got stratagems, it's like tricks and tactics. You can set off mines, you can outflank a model, you can drop artillery bombardments as the game goes on. That sort of thing. This is where you get those battlefield assets I talked about, those bunkers. Cards. Then the next set of cards is actually one that frustratingly is slightly too small for the slot it's got in there, and that is the weapon cards. So you got Warlord weapons, and I think I organised these. I didn't. So you got Warlord weapons in a pile here. There's 2 of all the Warlord weapons, if I remember reading them right, as I briefly flipped through them anyway. So basically you get enough to outfit 2 Warlord Titans. The problem I found was with the Reavers and Warhounds is you only get 1 of each. You know? Let's just see here, because I think I saw Warhound up in here. Warhound, so you got the Vulcan Mega Bolter here. If we're flicking through this entire deck then, there is no other Vulcan Mega Bolter here, which is slightly a rip-off if you ask me, just because I'm assuming the Reaver Titan, the Warhound Titans, you're going to want more than 1, especially with the Squadron packs, so with the Squadron rule even. So basically, you're going to have to buy the decks like they've done with the Warlords. To be honest, you're going to have to do the same with all the Titans. Reavers only have 1, and they're your mainline Titans, so there's going to be multiple. And then finally, we have got dice, because who doesn't love dice? We have got 2 D10s here, which are quite nice. They're nice gold marbly colour. We have got a order dice that you can put on the sheet here, just so you can remind yourself what order you gave your thing. You've got Reactor dice, which basically tells you when you're doing special things whether the Reactor doesn't get pushed, very rare, Reactor gets pushed by 1, Reactor gets pushed by 2, or the Machine Spirit awakens, because the Machine Spirits can rebel. You've also got a hit location dice, where it basically tells you whether you hit leg, body, head, weapons, etc. special. I don't think there's any special slots at the moment, so I'm not sure what the rules say about that. And then you've just got a couple of regular D6s. You've got 6 of them. No, I can't count. You've got 8, which I think is the amount most weapons are going to be putting out, other than stuff like Vulcan Mega Bolters. So basically, oh yeah, I did say I'd give the back of the box as well. So once done the deck, you know, I'm just going to lift out the slot here. On the side of the box, you have got the assembly instructions for the battlefield assets, like so. Just more stuff on the other side. And on the back, you've got exactly what we've just gone through. So you've got 2 Questoris Knight command terminals, 28 Titan weapon cards, 24 mission instructions, reference sheets, Titan command terminals, Adeptus Titanicus template weapons, range rule, and battlefield assets. This is, without a doubt, the most boring video of this week. It's just rules and cards, but it's an essential one, and it's currently the only one still available because the Grand Master Edition has just gone. Yeah. But all in all, I think this is quite a nice little set. It's got everything you need to get your first couple of games going. It's a good jumping off point, obviously, for the basic stuff that would be in the Grandmaster Edition, because this is everything you get in the Grandmaster Edition. So it basically lets you equip, and then once the other Titans come out, you've got options for them as well. And just to prove it does all fit nice and snugly back in then, even though you saw me unbox it, just fits like so. And then you put the lid back on. But yeah, I quite like Adeptus Titanicus. I think it's going to be a cool little game. It's a very strategic game, which is quite out there for Games Workshop, current Games Workshop anyway, which a lot have evolved into just basically mosh pits at the middle of the board with lots of dice rolling around. But yeah, this is quite a cool little box set. The models are a lot cooler. The Warlord Titan is amazing. So I hope you're looking forward to that video, which will be coming tomorrow. The other videos in the future, if the Reaver and the Warhound, because I'm going to put this series off until all of them have come out. This will be over the next week. I don't have Questoris Knights though. I don't plan on getting them by any time soon. I don't quite like them in this game. This is a game about Titans. I see their appeal, but I'd rather use proper Titans. So they're going to be left out of the review for now. Maybe potentially in the future, but this week they won't be here. Anyway, this has been That Welsh Nerd. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and comment your thoughts down below. And I will see you in the next one.